Hello, good afternoon, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode. And today we'll be talking about the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs. All right. So there has been a brewing issue of concern between Jamaica College, the hierarchy at Jamaica College, and the heads at ISSA. This morning it was on the Sports Explosion. The principal for Jamaica College, they came out. Well, he came out and he shared his bit following ISSA's side of the story, which was shared yesterday. Before I even get to that, though, let me say a big shout out to all the Halftime TV loyalists. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe to Halftime TV if you haven't yet done so. If you're new to the channel, big up and welcome. We will try to squeeze in as much content as possible, and hopefully in the coming week we will be back to our usual routine. Big shout out to the sponsors as well. Quick Link Shipping, anything you need whatsoever shipped into the island, Quick Link Shipping has you covered. For the football fans who are following Halftime TV, just a quick update. The World Cup, the schedule for the World Cup has now been announced. Gianni Infantino, he announced it a couple of days ago. The opening ceremony for the World Cup will be held in Mexico City. So opening ceremony, first two games, as a matter of fact, will be held in Mexico. So we have Mexico City for game 1 and Guadalajara game 2. Opening ceremony, obviously, in Mexico City. The final for the World Cup, New York, New Jersey, thereabout. All right, so look out for that. Canada will be hosting 7 and 6, 13 games. 7 games will be in Vancouver, and 6 games will be held in Toronto. So if you're in the Toronto area and you're interested, I suggest you start saving $10 or $20, putting it aside for the game. All right. So again, World Cup is still some time out. The 2026 World Cup, that is, we're speaking to. And remember, this will be the biggest World Cup on the record. All right. Biggest World Cup yet. 48 teams. And we expect Jamaica to be there. So one of the Reggae Boys fans to show out in their colors. And I know you have second teams or third teams. You can show out and support those as well. But Canada will be hosting 13 games, 6 of which will be hosted in Toronto, 7 will be hosted in Vancouver. So look out for that. All right, now back to the topic that I promised you guys that I'd be covering today. So we have Jamaica College, who seemingly submitted for 2 Ghanaian athletes to participate in the 2024 ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs. Now, Champs is just over a month away, we'll say, all right? The athletes were expected to be in Jamaica on a set date. However, due to travel restrictions, etc., basically they didn't get here in time. Jamaica College submitted a request for a waiver to allow the athletes to participate in the Boys and Girls Champs. And we know Champs is now a global entity, and I'll speak to my views on that in just a second. But the long and the short of the story is ISSA got back to Jamaica College in roughly January. Now, the request was submitted in October. ISSA got back to Jamaica College in January. That's 3 months later, saying the athletes will not be permitted to participate. An appeal was made by Jamaica College, and that said appeal went to the same board, ISSA folks, which is ludicrous in my opinion. And again, their appeal was turned down. So as things stand right now, the Jamaica College hierarchy, they're furious because they feel as if they were hard done by everything that transpired. Apparently, ISSA is taking a stance now on foreign athletes coming in to participate in the Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs. And the main concern or the main cause for concern is precedence was set a couple of years ago, right? And people are saying, well, this is the time when ISSA is choosing to take their stance, and this is the time when ISSA is deciding that it's no more. But let me tell you something, ISSA, that's not how you go about it, right? This is not how you go about it. Had it been a case where you had made the announcement well in advance, and then Jamaica College had gone on and do what they did, brought in the athletes, and then they were trying to get the athletes in, then you could have said, hey, no, we already set it out here, and we're not going to allow it over here. Simple. However, you are being reactive and you can't set rules after the fact, right? You can't set rules after the fact. Ari Amanya Rogers, we'll call him Ari Rogers, from KC in, I think, 2017 it was, so quite some time now, 7, 8 years. I think Ari should, by my count, should be finished with even college by now. He was a Ugandan athlete who came into Kingston College a few years ago, participated in the ISSA boys and girls champs, set the record in the distance races as well. I think 2,000 meters and, yeah, was it 800 meters? I don't remember. But he participated in a number of distance events and set the record in the events that he took part in. And initially, there was uproar from the Jamaican people saying we're welcoming a foreign student to participate in champs. Now, since Ari Rogers, there are a ton load of other schools who brought in athletes from overseas, teenage athletes, to participate at their schools in the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs. Now, my question to ISSA is, what makes this situation any different from all the others? Just this morning, yesterday morning, a story in the Jamaica Star saying Edwin Allen recruits London talent to participate in ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Champs, or something along that line. So Edwin Allen will be competing in this year's champs with an English-born athlete, right? If we're talking about the time frame, right, because obviously there isn't an argument to be made from ISSA about the athlete or the foreign athletes competing in champs, right? Because it's right across the board. So you restricting Jamaica College from registering, or from Jamaican College athletes from participating, it shows a bias, or it shows prejudice against Jamaica College. And this is my opinion, folks, right? So if you don't agree, you don't agree. And I'm curious to hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. So leave it down in the comment section, right? Ari Rogers, who came in 2017, arrived in the island roughly 2016, participated in 2017 champs. He went on to represent Jamaica College in Manning Cup, right? I think he scored 8 or 9 goals, got injured in the finals. Kingston College won their first Manning Cup in 31 years. And one could make an argument that Ari Rogers was key to that. He also went on to participate in the ISSA Grace Kennedy champs. And again, he left an indelible mark. Some could say he was one of the key members of the team, and not even an argument. He was one of the key members of the team, and he contributed significantly to Kingston College's success during his time there, right? Now, I think the Jamaica College principal who came on Sports Explosion this morning, and he said he didn't want to speak on it. He was allowing the public to speak on it. Obviously, he has to deal with ISSA week in, week out, or because Jamaica College is such a well-rounded institution when it comes down to sports, and they recruit most of the top athletes, well, that they can, to participate in extracurricular activities at their schools. Then obviously he's not going to come out and he's not going to say there is an anti-JC agenda being brewed. But that's the impression that I'm getting, right? Because if a precedent is set, when Ari Rogers competed, again, Ari Rogers arrived later as well, when that precedent was set, you open a brand new can of worms. And if it were that you were planning on basically getting rid of that and removing that from the books, then you should have done it either right after Ari Rogers left, or, well, right after the Ari Rogers situation, or in advance of this year's registration period. You should have done it right after last year's champs, or right after the other champs. So there was no intention whatsoever to address this. There wasn't a concern, in my opinion, about the plethora of foreign athletes that were coming in. I think the concern is only being raised now because it's JC. And that's my opinion, right? So folks are going to say, oh, but you're defending JC. No, I went to Rossi's high school, so I support Rossi's high school. And I understand that there's always bad blood between JC and KC, and you know it is. You know it is. And people take champs extremely seriously. Like, these are schools who are competing toe and toe most champs to come out victors. So I understand. I understand the situation in its entirety, but I say to ISSA this time, they need to allow the athletes to participate. And I think Jamaica College should take a stand. I think Jamaica College should even go as far as the boycott champs if they don't get the opportunity to register these two athletes. And I know they'll say, oh, but they're hurting other athletes. But again, the intrigue, the interest that's brewed around champs, around these big rivalries. Jamaica College plays a significant part in it. And with the sponsorships that are coming in from different entities, I know, again, the Jamaica College, the old boys of Jamaica College and what have you, they have that pull as to influence decisions. And it's the same thing on the KC side as well. So both schools have serious old boy associations that they contribute significantly to the progress of ISSA Grace Kennedy boys and girls champs. And again, with the boycotting thing, I don't want you to quote me on that. That's just a stretch. But that's how serious I think this situation is. I think the JC principal is obviously irate about the situation and is sharing his concern. And I agree with him. I would be frustrated as well, because ISSA went about it, well, the president of ISSA went about it the wrong way, for one, and now the appeal that was submitted went to the same committee, which doesn't make any sense, because the same persons who made the original decision will be reviewing the document when it's resubmitted in the form of an appeal. So there isn't any logic behind that, because there is no objectivity. The same. Imagine you sending an appeal to a judge that basically ruled on your original case. That don't make any sense, right? So the long and the short of the story, I think Jamaica College athletes, the two Ghanaian athletes that Jamaica College submitted for, I think they should be allowed to participate in this year's boys and girls champs. I think if ISSA is so concerned about the plethora of athletes that are coming in to participate in champs, then they should put measures in place to ensure that schools are limited to a set number of athletes or no foreign athletes whatsoever, regardless, whichever route they decide to take. But they need to put measures in place, and they need to put it down on paper and say, this is the route, these are the guidelines, so it can be applicable in the years ahead. But for this year, I think that the ISSA dropped the ball, and I know, like, as a people, Jamaicans are extremely proud. So no, most of these individuals, they're not going to want to go back and say, okay, we made a wrong decision, and this is primarily due to pride. But I think the just thing to do in this situation is to allow the athletes to participate in champs. You allowed Harry Rogers, how many years ago, to come in and set champs on fire. I think the excitement from champs that year was astounding, and what Harry Rogers did, not only in champs but in the Manning Cup as well, had people in awe, right? So why allow it then but not allow it now? Don't make any sense, right? The math not mathing, right? So again, that's my take. Let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. Do you think the athletes should be allowed to participate, or do you think the governing committee, or ISSA, is in the right with their decision? Let's hear it in the comment section. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe to Halftime TV if you haven't yet done so. Until next time, peace out.